Hello, everybody. This is Jason here from Jan Collectors, and I've got a show recap actually from two shows. One was the FC card show last weekend in Battle Creek. I've got just a few pickups to share from that, and then yesterday was the Avery Shoebox show in Lansing, and I've got a few pickups to show from that. So nothing too crazy. The first show at all. A lot of lower end pickups, but it's just kind of where the value was and where, quite frankly, much of the show was. There wasn't a ton of like great, I guess, higher end stuff to the extent that I get into higher end. Just for context, like most of my stuff is, below $100. Occasionally I'll get something that's, in the 1 to 200 range, but for the most part, a lot of it's 10, 20, 30, whatever. So here, this first lot that I picked up is a 7-card lot, and it's, I guess, what I would define as a legendary relic lot. And so you got the Calvin Johnson here from Prestige, and of course, a lot of these are a little bit older, so they are, in fact, game-used relics, which is key. A little Jeter action there. Pride of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Not terribly far from where that show took place. Barry Bonds. And Dan Marino. Jerry Rice. And Tony Gwynn. So I ended up getting all 7 of those for $75. That was pretty nice. I was very happy with that. Really, it's pretty close to what those cards go for, which I think they're undervalued at that. So we'll see what happens down the road. I ended up selling some cards to a guy. The main card, may have been the only card actually, was a 2023 Topps All Aces Nolan Ryan and a PSA 10. And starting in 2024, those Topps All Aces cards were super short printed. But back in 23, not so much. So you can easily pick up really any card but the Ohtani for very low price on that. So the Nolan Ryan, I'm thinking, maybe paid $5 for it raw, and then I sent it in, got it graded, and so you ended up doing pretty well on that. And so I ended up selling that card, but part of the deal is I got this Aaron Judge card. It's AL and NL Players of the Week, Aaron Judge and JD Martinez. This is from 2017, so Aaron Judge's rookie year. So kind of a cool one there. Last card I want to mention on here is one of 2 cards I got from a local card shop. It's TNT down in Portage, and get the Nolan Arenado Topps Home Field Advantage. These seem to be picking up popularity, so go there. All right, moving ahead to yesterday's show in Lansing. Did not pick up that many cards yesterday at all, to be honest. The first 2 cards I picked up were to go along with another item. I'll show that in just a minute. But the first one is this Juan Soto Bowman Purple out of $2.99. And the next one was this Dennis Reyes. It's a 1 to watch. The reason I picked up this card, these were both in dollar boxes, is because this is numbered out of 250. And I believe it's from 1999. Cards from that era that are numbered that low sometimes are worth a lot more. So for $1, I was willing to take the chance that maybe this was something just a little bit more. Turns out it was not. It's probably worth maybe every bit of the $1 I paid for it, but just to get a 90s card numbered to 250, I think is kind of cool. The piece that I got to go along with that, I'll turn the camera. So you can get a better look here. Earl Campbell, signed 8x10. Came with the frame. And that is certified by JSA. So I got the 8x10 photo and the 2 cards for $20. So I felt like that was worth it. Later in the day, I came across a 50-cent box, and it's a dealer that's set up every month. I feel like just never really stopped to see what it was. I ended up doing the same type of thing as what I did with that Dennis Reyes card, but I picked up a 96-97 Bowman's Best Jermaine O'Neal, 92 score Ken Griffey Jr. Big Heads. Now, Topps is doing some really short printed cards now that are very similar in nature, so maybe at some point these pick up value. Not sure. We'll see. Fleer Provisions, Magic Johnson. And then, again, not a Troy Davis fan. Didn't even know his name. But this is out of Pinnacle Express. And this is from the Divide and Conquer set. And you can see there, numbered 440. These have a print run of 500 cards. So for 50 cents, I thought I would take a shot on that. Once again, probably worth maybe every bit of the 50 cents I paid for it. But again, sometimes you take those risks and hope they pay off. All right. Now, enough of the nonsense. Top 3 pickups from yesterday's show. So we arrived at the show a little after 8 o'clock. Noah wanted to spend a few minutes there before he took off for a spring break trip. So the show was kind of done in 2 waves. It was like 8 to 9:30, and then I went back around 10:30 or so. But in the morning, I picked up this card. It's a 2024 Absolute Green Waves Brock Bowers in an SGC 10, numbered out of 50. My thought behind picking up Brock Bowers, just besides the fact that I thought it was a really cool card, was that in about a month, it is largely expected that the Raiders will draft Fernando Mendoza with the #1 overall pick, which will give Brock Bowers a new quarterback. Sometimes when that happens, you will see prices rise for these pass catchers. So I think Bowers is one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and so I thought at $50 this was a great deal. All right, number 2. Masters Week is coming up, and one of my favorite golfers, I've wanted to get an auto of his for a minute now, and just haven't been able to find the right fit. Having to walk up to a table yesterday, this was sitting in the very corner of the showcase, you know, kind of that area where it's like, yes, this card has enough value that it should be in a showcase, but yeah, odds that someone is actually going to want it are not great. So I walked up and I asked the guy how much he wanted for it, and he said $125. Well, this was probably late morning. I ended up going back in the afternoon, maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock-ish, I'm guessing, and picked up this 2014 SP Authentic Patrick Cantley auto, PSA 10. I offered him $100 for it, and he took that. So just like Patrick Cantley, never hear anything bad about him in the news, and great golfer. We'll see what happens. If he wins the Masters, that card becomes, I would think, much more valuable. Final card, a card I had no intention of pursuing. I wasn't looking for this player or anything heading into the day, but saw the card. I thought this card's got to be more than I'm willing to spend on it, so I'm just wasn't even going to ask about it, but I'm just like, you know what can it hurt to ask? And so I asked the guy what the price was. He says $135. Stood there for a minute and thought, and I'm like, would you do $120? He's like, $125, and you got a deal. So I'm like, yeah, that works for me. He said it was his buddy's card, so he had to check with his buddy too, and said that his buddy had made some bad card choices lately, and so he needed to move some, I guess. Which I was a little bit surprised. I looked and saw a direct comp earlier in March for this card, so like 2 or 3 weeks ago, for like $192. So to be able to get this for 125 was, I was thrilled with this pickup. And it is a Juan Soto Topps Triple Threads Jersey Auto and a BGS 9. So, and cool thing about this card, I don't know if you'll be able to catch it in the light, it is number 22 on 27. For whatever reason, jersey numbers are kind of a big deal to me. I like them. I think they're cool. So that is jersey numbered as well. So this will be going into the PC and be keeping this for quite a while, I imagine. Of course, the right deal comes along next week, then it might be gone, but we'll see. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Lansing show was pretty solid yesterday, maybe 325 tables. As is the case with most shows, a lot more Pokemon than sports now. I'd say probably 65-35, and still, though, with 300 plus tables, even 35% of that, you're talking a good 100, maybe 120 sports tables. So still a good selection there. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.